It's time to go raw. I'm Frugal Tesla Guy, and I'm going to take you on a full ride with me on FSD Beta, unedited. Since I got FSD Beta about a year ago, I tried to do things differently than what a lot of people were doing and break away from the norm, if you will. And for the most part, I think it's worked out well. But here recently, I really haven't done an FSD Beta video in a while, and I thought, you know what? I think I'm just going to try to take you all on a drive with me and try to be as detailed as possible with maybe different things, the way that FSD Beta is reacting to different scenarios and how I've seen it react in the past as well. So I'm going to take you on about a 15-minute drive, and we're going to go pretty much unedited during the entire ride, and it's going to be kind of that feel of you just coming along with me. So let's get right into it. Here we go. We're recording. Good. I'm actually going to put it that way so I can see that it is recording. That is recording. We are ready to go. We're heading to Sprouts. So as we go down this residential road, it does not have a center marking. Look at this. We're right down the middle of the road. There's a car coming on the left side there. It does kind of inch itself back to the right, but sometimes it looks like people are kind of giving me a bit of a look. Here's a left turn. There's a bit of a blind turn right here because those bushes right there, but it tends to handle it pretty well. What's reminiscent of when I first got FSD Beta about a year ago is it would accelerate very quickly into the turns, both left and right. It seems to be doing that now with the latest FSD Beta software. Not sure how I feel about that. I'd like it to, it's probably not so great on the tires. But I do have the speed set to 5 miles per hour over the speed limit. And then of course I can adjust that accordingly with the scroll wheel here on the right side here. It tends to slow down too quickly at these stop signs and approaches them very slowly. I'm not a big fan of that. I wish it would approach this stop sign, but I'm not doing anything just yet. You can see now that they've stopped the California roll, it really does come to a complete stop. It makes the right turn here, it stops a little bit, and then it goes. That's another frustrating thing is once it starts pulling out, it will stop almost midway during the turn, and then once it realizes it's clear, it goes. I'm not quite sure why it does it that way, but it's a little frustrating because it's obviously clear, and it would be nice if it would just go and make the right turn. But it just takes way too long at stop sign at this point, and people aren't going to have the patience for that. So I'd like to see some improvement on that. That all being said, down this whole road, everything has been fantastic. Smooth around the bends, and good acceleration here. I'm at 40 miles per hour, and things are looking good. Now, we take a right turn here. This is going to be the same type of situation with the stop sign. A little jerky move right there, unfortunately. I don't know why, but now it's taking a right turn here. Green light. So now that it's green, it actually does quite well and adjusts to that and actually does go without too much hesitation. Good acceleration here. It should get up to about 50 miles per hour, and we're going around these bends once again, very smooth. That's one thing FSD Beta does really well. It's on these non-eventful parts of the drive where it stays very well in the center of the lane as long as there are good markings. And it goes around those bends nice and smoothly. If it's going too fast, it'll slow down a bit to get into that bend or that turn. As we're approaching this truck here and the stop signal or turn signal, very smooth slowing down. It didn't give any abrupt stops, so everything very smooth at this point. We're going to be getting into the left turn lane here, and it's going to look like no, that truck looked like it was going to. And very smoothly gets into this left turning lane. Looks like there are, is that one car in front of me? That's one, what? No, there's two cars. I couldn't see it. But yes, so we are just stopping at the stop sign. Now, I may just edit so you don't have to see this because, you know, there's no point of really sitting here and waiting. All right, now it's turned green. And as it usually does here on these left turns. Beautifully done. This is just a great smooth left turn, nothing unusual about it. It's the kind of left turn that I would make on my own here. We're going to be bumping up to about 50 miles per hour here. Eventually, based on where we're going, we are going to need to get into the right lane. So it's always a bit of interesting for me to see how soon FSD Beta gets into the right lane, because we will eventually need to be in that right lane to make that right turn. We're approaching a signal here, and it's just went from red to green, so we won't need to stop here. Now, I think after this next light, which is now turning red, so we'll see how smooth that stop is. Okay, we're approaching, and really good, just super smooth. It got a little abrupt there a little bit, but overall a very smooth stop. Now it's turning green, and some good acceleration here. Now what's interesting, there's no one actually directly behind me, but I'm not going to let it come to the complete stop. Pretty close here every single time. Here it goes. It is getting ready to make a complete stop. It treats this like there's a stop sign. Now I will show you some video at night when there's no one else on the road, and to prove that it comes to a complete stop like it's a stop sign, and then it goes. That is brand new to this latest version of FSD Beta software. That has never happened before. So I'm not sure what's going on there. I have sent the clip to Tesla a couple of times. Very smooth stop here behind this car, staying in the center of the lane, where the FSD Beta is doing a fantastic job. Mine is, of course, wanting to stop in the middle of the road. So we're in the center of the lane here, smooth, doing a beautiful job. Couldn't be happier with the way it's performing right now. Here we come to a stoplight, and we are coming to a nice, smooth stop right here. Again, very good. There are times when you're approaching and there are cars that are stopped in front of you, and sometimes it takes a little longer than what's comfortable for it to start slowing down to stop. And if I have FSD Beta with my wife in the car, she will actually ask me what I'm doing and why I'm not stopping soon enough, that is. So it can take a while sometimes, but I've used it enough to know that it's going to stop. But sometimes it becomes more of an abrupt stop at that point. Good smooth acceleration here at this intersection right here. We're in the center of the lane once again. There's plenty of traffic around us, and that doesn't seem to be holding it up or causing any concern or trouble with FSD Beta. We are now approaching another traffic signal here. A lot of times at this point it will get into the center lane, and yep, looks like it's trying to do that. Sometimes it hesitates a little bit, but it's getting in there. Nice smooth lane change here. It did stop a little bit, slow down. I think because of all the traffic, it's tending to be a little cautious. We're in the center lane here now, and eventually, like I said, we're about, let me go ahead and put this in full screen mode here. We are about, I'm not paying attention. It's not going to show me because I have my video voice recording here, but we're about a half a mile from where we need to be in the right lane. Now this, there is a bit more traffic now, so it'll be interesting. So typically what I do when I'm driving on this road is I will be in the right lane now, because as we get closer to where I need to turn right, it gets more and more difficult to change into the right lane here. So it'll be interesting to see how FSD Beta does here, to see if we miss the turn, to see if we can get in there. There it is. It's actually, see right there? And we've got plenty of room here, and we're getting into the right lane. So I'm actually pretty happy with that. It waited a little longer than I would like to, but thankfully there's a nice gap in this line right here that we were able to get in. So again, you can see there's a long line of cars here, but there's a reason for that, because most of these cars are going to want to turn right, and the reason being it's a highway, so they're wanting to get onto the highway here. So that's the reason why we're not in the left lane here, or the center lane, passing this whole line, because it's going to be difficult to get in there. Now, there's a nice gap that I've got between the truck here, and I would be willing to guess that maybe someone will try to merge in here. We'll see. Doesn't look like that's the case. All right, we need to get into the right lane here. And I would like to have done it sooner, but overall a fairly smooth turn. Here's a truck that in the way. Let's see how FSD Beta does. And it's not holding up very well. There was a truck behind me. I probably should have stepped on the accelerator, but I wanted to see how I was going to handle it. And for the most part, it did okay. You saw how the steering wheel was getting a little back and forth, a little edgy there, but overall it handled it. On a scale of 1 to 10, I give it about a 6 or a 7. Now it's stopping here, phantom braking a little bit. I want to step on the accelerator because the speed limit people start speeding up here. So I just gave it a little bit of a nudge because there are cars behind me and it's not fair to them that I'm on this experiment. Okay, that truck obviously speeding up. He's gonna probably merge left there. Yep, there he goes. Don't blame him. A lot of people do that, especially when cars like me are going way too slow. I should be up to 70. I'm only up to 50. I've got plenty of space between me and this truck. Now, by the way, I am now in autopilot, or actually navigate on autopilot. So we are no longer technically in FSD Beta. They haven't got the stacking on that just yet. But here shortly, we're going to get off the highway and then back onto the city streets. And that will, of course, put us back into FSD Beta. All right, so we're going about 60 miles per hour. You know, we'd probably be going faster if this truck was going faster. You can see it's leaving plenty of space between the two cars here. Let me see what I have it set at. Yeah, I've got it set at the full 7, so I could probably inch it a little bit closer. But overall, you know what? We're doing what we're doing on the highway, and I don't consider myself to be a nuisance on the highway at this point. I'm going to have to engage to get into this right lane. I don't have automatic lane change. I've actually got to engage the lane change. There's a car behind me, and it is acting very aggressively. And boy, it was trying to pass me, but it saw my turn signal on. But yeah, it was pretty aggressive. But I made the turn. It's slowing down here, probably slower than I'd like, but we're going to be making a right turn here, and I'm taking it kind of slow, or FSD Beta is taking it kind of slow. Probably slower than the traffic behind me would like to be, but it's going to want to stop here now. I don't want to stop because you shouldn't have to stop, because we are actually going into our own lane. There's no traffic that we need to be concerned about now except to get into this left lane, which we are doing. So that turn onto this road here, you don't need to legally stop, but FSD Beta wants to stop before it makes that right turn, which I suppose is to be expected, but unfortunately it's one of those little scenarios that FSD Beta doesn't quite understand, that we don't need to stop there. So that's one of the weaknesses, and hopefully over time those can be taken care of. But in the meantime, that's when you've got to put your foot on the accelerator and give it that nudge to keep going. We are getting to our destination, which is this shopping complex. It actually has directions going into the shopping complex, so let's see how it does here. We're making a nice smooth right turn. There are some cars ahead of us also making a left turn, which we are going to be doing here. Slowing down for this speed bump, which is actually not showing on visualization. That for some reason was taken off a few beta versions ago. Now we're turning left. There's no one behind me, so I'm not concerned about keeping anybody up here, but we're doing pretty good. Left turn, and we are coming up on Sprouts Farmers Market, and it's going to stop me right here. So perfect. So there you have it. That is the drive to Sprouts Farmers Market. What I'm going to do is stop. I'm going to put my destination in at home, and we're going to see how it does on the drive home. So as you can see, FSD Beta isn't perfect, and I hope I did a pretty good job in giving you a general sense of how FSD Beta is reacting to different scenarios, because unless you're in the car, it's really hard to know how the car is doing. Sometimes you may see something and think, wow, was that too close, or was that just kind of an optical illusion? And I tried to be as detailed as possible in this video. And I did another return ride back home, and I'll probably post that as a separate video just so we don't have a half hour to 45-minute video for you to have to kind of go through. So if you're interested in that, I'll be sure to post that on my YouTube channel as well, so you can check that out to see how it reacts to maybe some different scenarios. And let me know in the comment section below if you like this style. Do you want me to do more videos where it's just pretty much raw and unedited and detailed as possible about different drives? Let me know, because this is actually a lot easier than having to do all kinds of edits. And if this is something you really like and I'm getting some good response from you all, I'll be happy to do more of these. So let me know in the comment section below. And as usual, thank you all so much for watching. And you know the drill. Like, subscribe, and stay positively charged.